Hey, welcome back to the channel. Well, as you can see, we're starting a new series, and as you can see behind me there, you can see who he is. And we're starting the Nightmare on Elm Street series. So this is the original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984, and I'm going to go through the whole series throughout the coming days, and hopefully you enjoy them. So if you're new to this channel, welcome, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and please everyone leave likes and comments, and let's get into the video. So if you haven't seen this movie already, please go watch it and then come back and watch this video because it does include spoilers. So let's get into it. So Nightmare on Elm Street stars Robert Englund and Heather Langenkamp. And let me tell you about this one. For me, oh boy, it was these movies back when I was a kid scared me pretty badly. Not so much anymore because I actually enjoy them now and they're actually kind of funny, at least some of them are. But I don't really think that they're scary anymore. But back then, when I was a kid, I did think that they were pretty scary. They scared me more than the Friday the 13th movies did. And I think that was because it dealt with dreams and that it could, that just freaked me out. And so anyway, let's get in with the video. I believe this came out in 84. I believe the first time I watched this movie, I was about, I want to say probably 11 or 12. And I didn't watch this movie when it first came out, but I did watch it like years later, and just a few years later. I did not hear about Nightmare on Elm Street until part 3 came out. And a friend of mine, she was telling me all about it, telling me how scary it was and all this and that. And I had to see it for myself, and I regretted it because these movies scared me, like I said. But anyway, let's get in with it. Basically about Freddy Krueger, if you don't know, was a child murderer, and the parents got angry about it and they burned him alive, basically. And now he comes back in people's dreams and kills them. That's basically the gist of the movie right there. And this movie in particular, Nancy, played by Heather Langenkamp, and her boyfriend Glenn, played by a young Johnny Depp, and her two friends Tina and Rod. I don't know their actual names. And they are having dreams about Freddy, but they're not saying anything to each other about it. Well, they are, but they're not admitting to each other that they're having the same dream. They're the dream about the same person. They're not really admitting that just yet. Nancy and Tina kind of do, but Rod, he doesn't really want to admit it. He thinks it's all just a dream. He don't think nothing of it. And Glenn doesn't really say nothing at all. But Tina and Nancy both kind of go back and forth about it. Tina telling her that she had a dream about Freddy, and she described him. Of course, you don't know his name at first. You don't know his name until later on in the movie. But so her and Tina are talking about it, and Tina's telling her and describing him to her, and Nancy just happens to say, well, that was odd because she had the dream about the same person. And so anyway, So anyway, that's basically the beginning of the movie. And Tina, unfortunately, she dies. She gets killed. Probably one of the coolest kills of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Um, she gets dragged up the wall and around across the ceiling, and Freddy basically, as she's on top of the ceiling, basically, I think she's on top of the ceiling. I know she goes across the ceiling, but Freddy does stab her with his claws and with his glove and knives and whatever you want to call it. And she falls right there on the bed and just like, you know, like blood just goes everywhere. It was pretty cool. That was the coolest kill, I think. And then Glenn's, Johnny Depp's character, Glenn, his kill was pretty cool too. Freddy pulled him inside the bed, and then next thing you see is this hole, and then just blood and everything just shoots out of it and hits the ceiling, and oh my god, it's horrific. It's great. I loved it. But yeah, so basically the gist of it is Nancy's trying to prove that Freddy's real. Freddy's trying to kill her and her friends. Her parents, her mother, is not believing it because she was one of the people that burned Freddy alive. And she's trying to tell her that it's okay and all this and that. Freddy can't hurt you no more. He's dead, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, she's no help. But, and then her dad, and I cannot remember his name either. He's I believe, is he the chief or the sheriff? Something like that. So he doesn't believe her either, but he's kind of a little more patient with her. He's trying to just, you know, get her to get some sleep, relax, he's being a little more patient about it, but he's still being a jerk about it as well. And so basically they go all round and round through the whole movie until, and even there's a scene in there where they take her to a sleep clinic. Her mother takes her to a sleep clinic, and she's laying there asleep, Nancy is, and she starts dreaming about Freddy, and then she grabs Freddy's hat off his head and pulls it out of her dream when she wakes up, because she had his hat in her hand when she woke up. And they still didn't believe her. It's like she just pulled that out of her dream, and which, by the way, I wish you could do that in real life. That would be so freaking awesome. But they still didn't believe her. But anyway, so you go on trying to prove it, and finally Nancy just like, I've got to do this myself. And so she sets traps all around the house for Freddy, and what her idea is, she's going to pull him out of her dream so she can kill him, which in a way doesn't make sense to me, because technically he's already dead. You see, they burned him alive, and now he's like this ghost person that goes into your dreams. So technically he's already dead. So what good would it do if she killed him again? I mean, all he would do is just go back into doing exactly the same thing he would normally do before that, which is going to people's dreams. So it's like, it's kind of pointless, but you got to have a movie somehow. But anyway, so she sets up all these traps around the house. She's going to pull him out of her dream, and she does. And at first she thinks that she doesn't, because when she woke up, Freddy wasn't there. And then she's trying to convince herself that she's crazy. She says something like, I guess I am crazy after all, or something like that. And she's, I think she's about to get up and get out of the bed and everything. And Freddy just jumps up from, like, I guess he was kneeling down on the floor. And he just jumps up out of nowhere and scares her half to death and chases her. and he hits every trap she set. It was pretty cool. And next thing you know, she sets him on fire, or he gets set on fire somehow. And so Freddy's burning once again, and he runs upstairs. There's like fire everywhere. Like everywhere he stepped, there was like little things of fire, kind of like a trail. And basically what he did was he went up there and killed her mother. And so she gets up there, Nancy does, and faces him once and for all. And I'm not going to tell you the ending because you need to see it for yourself if you haven't already. But that's pretty much a big, quick lowdown of it. Me, I love this movie. This is one of my favorite movies. Freddy Krueger is one of my favorite slasher killers. And Freddy, Jason, and Michael are my three favorites. And I mean, I love Chucky as well, but Michael, Freddy, and Jason are the three that I like the most. And Freddy, I think I would probably put Freddy at number one because he has a sense of humor. He has actual, he talks. I don't know, he just seems scarier to me than Michael or Jason. But, so, you know. But this movie here, I love it. The acting was great. I saw really nothing wrong with the acting all that much. The music in this is great. I wish I could remember who actually did the music, but I do not remember. But Robert Englund does a great job as Freddy. You know, just like Kane Hodder is Jason and always will be Jason. Robert Englund is Freddy and will always be Freddy. But we'll get into that later on in future videos. But I definitely recommend this movie if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, I definitely recommend you add it to your collection if you haven't already. Love this movie. I don't know what else to say about it. It's directed by Wes Craven, and unfortunately Wes Craven passed away not too long ago, but he was a great director. He did a lot of great movies, and this one was probably my favorite out of the whole. Everything he's done, this is my favorite. Nightmare on Elm Street, my favorite. But I'm trying to think of anything else I should say about this movie. Hopefully I'm not leaving anything out. I like how they portrayed Nancy in this. She was a fighter. She wasn't one of those kind of people who was weak and ran away, which again, later on in the series, I'm going to do a review of the remake of The Nightmare on Elm Street, and can't wait for that one. Do not miss that one because I have a lot to say about that, and trust me, none of it's good. But this one here, definitely recommend. Nancy, I like in this because she's a fighter. She takes the fight to Freddy. She doesn't run away from him. She faces him, and she's not afraid of him. Well, she is at first, but then she overcomes that and fights him. And I just like how Wes Craven had the character as Nancy betrayed. It was really good. And Freddy is scary in this. He's creepy. You don't see him all that much, and when you do see him, he's in the shadows, just like right there. You can't really see his face all that much. He's a mystery. He's like, you're like, who is this person? Who is this person after these people? And he's just really creepy. But I guess that's it. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm just kind of rambling right now. But again, definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it. Please go see it if you haven't. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and please leave comments letting me know your thoughts on this movie. And I guess that's it. So once again, if you're new, please subscribe. Please turn on the bell. Even the people who have subscribed to me already, please click the bell if you haven't already, so you can turn on notifications and know and be alerted when I upload, because I don't want you to miss any of the videos. So everybody take care, and I will see you all in the next video.